Nation and stand. Gentlemen, please remove your hats for tonight's invocation being given by Mr. Craig Mishler and the singing of our national anthem by Mr. Jim Harmon.
Shall we pray? Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you that the rain stopped and the track is dry and we're ready to have some fun tonight. We ask you to watch over all the drivers as they compete for the season championship here at Midvale Speedway. We ask you to watch over the track officials and us, your fans, as we watch these races. Give us a safe trip home, and we thank you for all your blessings. In Jesus' name, amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nice job. How about that, Jim Harmon? Thank you for that beautiful rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Thank you to Craig Mishler for our invocation. Thank you to all the fans for hanging with us tonight as we get ready to go season championship racing on a comfortable October evening here at Midvale Speedway. Let's go racing! In the late model division, Miller and Brian Smith. Green flag off of turn number 4. And Mike Miller with a little eager to get off to the start. Your 7-car field for heat race number 1 of your late model division. Field in turn number 3 and 4. And green flag is in the air. Bryant Smith gets a good run on the outside. Miller battles back to the inside. A little slippery off turn number 2. Bryant Smith not quite clear the 53 of Miller into turn number 3. Miller battles back side by side off 4. Lap number 1 to Bryant Smith. Miller just a little bit loose exiting the corners, but he's going to pull ahead down the back straightaway into 3. Still side by side for the 3rd spot between Ritter and Tedesco as Mike Miller pulls into the race lead and clears the 1 of Bryant Smith. Here comes the 28 of Ritter. Bryant Smith falls into 2nd, Ritter 3rd, Tedesco 4th, Bubba Smith 5th, Matthew Mills 6th, Glenn Galt Jr. in 7th. Tedesco now clears the 28 of Ritter to move up to the 3rd spot as the 1 of Bryant Smith moves back in on the 53 of Miller at the halfway point. 4 in, 4 to go. Mike Miller doing a great job of keeping that 1 of Bryant Smith behind him, but for how long? Here comes Smith to the inside. Miller going to close the door, then he gives him a little bit of room off of turn number 4. Side by side for the race lead, heat race number 1. Tedesco right there in 3rd, looking on. Bubba Smith in 4th. Drag race down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Miller, Smith off turn number 4. Bryant Smith will take home heat race number 1. Mike Miller will finish 2nd, Ryan Tedesco 3rd, Bubba Smith 4th, Jonathan Ritter 5th, Matthew Mills 6th, and Glenn Galt Jr. in 7th. Pulling to the line, heat race number 1 winner from Canton, Ohio. In the Canton Auto Salvage Finish Line Designs Freedom Auto Finance, sponsored number 1. Put your hands together for Bryant Smith. Right there on the back of that rig, we thank Terry Coletti, Smith's Auto Sales, Freedom Auto Finance, for the beautiful trophies here on Smith's Auto Sales, Freedom Auto Finance season championship night at Midvale Speedway. He had problems in qualifying just a little bit ago. We'll see if he can make his way from the back of the pack to the front. Martin and Smith off of turn number 4. And the green flag is in the air. 8-lap heat race number 2. Smith going to get a good run down into turn number 1. Is he going to be able to hold it? And now problems behind him as Snyder and Hoopengarner get together. Field in turn number 3. Green flag, heat race in your McIntosh Oil Company late model division. Martin and Smith. Smith going to push off of turn number 2 a little bit. Martin has a little bit of advantage going into turn number 3. Smith gets way upstairs in turn number 4. Martin will lead as Bob Snyder Jr. spins all by himself to the infield. Round 7 to go, heat race number 2 of the McIntosh Oil Company late models on Smith's Auto Sales, Freedom Auto Finance season championship night at Midvale Speedway. Off turn number 4, green flag back in the air, Martin and Smith. Martin by a half a car length into turn number 3. Smith gains some ground. Will he be able to hold it off of 4? Much better look in turn 4 for the 26 of Smith, who's had a serious push off of the corners all night long. The 45 of Hoopengarner goes to the pits. And the 3 of Martin slides up a little bit high to try and protect that race lead, and that allows Stankiewicz to get around the 26 of Smith. Here comes Tom Stankiewicz in the 42. He's going to look to the inside of Martin in turn number 3. Martin slams the door. So Stankiewicz continues to try the inside of Martin. Martin continues to close the door. Here comes Stankiewicz with a good run into turn number 3. Martin going to give him a little bit of room. Stankiewicz is going to force his way in there now. Side by side for the race lead, Dave Martin, Tom Stankiewicz with only 2 laps remaining. Stankiewicz going to take over the top spot. White flag for Tom Stankiewicz. And your winner, Tom Stankiewicz. Dave Martin finishes 2nd. Mike Smith finishes 3rd. Bob Snyder Jr. in 4th. Currently sits 4th in the point standings in the McIntosh Oil Company late model division. Will pull to the line. In his custom car and collision, Baker Performance sponsored number 42 machine from Strongsville, Ohio. Put your hands together for Tom Stankiewicz. 8-lap heat race number 1, Summit Racing Economy Modified Division is green. So McCurry out to the race lead. Kaufman with problems on the start. Sibla with issues. Field all kind of strung out on the start for some reason, but Lee McCreary is your race leader. Kaufman runs 2nd, Bailey 3rd, Allensworth 4th, Sibla in 5th. So McCreary continues to lead. Kaufman runs second, Bailey third, Allensworth fourth, Sibla fifth. 5 laps complete, 3 to go this time. So white flag for Lee McCreary. Kaufman runs second. Checkered flag for Lee McCreary. Sean Kaufman finishes second, Brandon Bailey in third, Bryce Allensworth in fourth, and Bob Sibla Jr. in fifth. Safe to now announce that your 2015 points champion in the Summit Racing Economy Modified Division, the number 82 of Bob Sibla Jr. Congratulations, Bob Sibla Jr. on his championship, and congratulations to heat race number 1 winner from New Philadelphia, Ohio, in the M&D Designs Riddle Trucking Gribble Fabrication, sponsored number 2. Put your hands together for Lee McCreary. So the field into turn number 3. Jewell and Cox. Green flag back in the air. Bowers and Swaney get sideways off of turn number 2, or turn number 4 rather, and Glenn Jewell's going to take the race lead in his final heat race here at Midvale Speedway. So the black flag going to come out for Glenn Jewell for breaking out of his qualifying time. And the caution is on the speedway for the 27 of Swaney. Glenn Jewell, black flag for going under his qualifying time, just what he wanted to do. Green flag in the air. Bowers and Cox down into turn number 1. Cox on the inside, Bowers on the outside. Philip Cox going to take over the race lead into turn number 3. Philip Cox and Mike Bowers putting on a pretty good show out there. 2 laps to go this time at the line. Philip Cox, your race leader. Final half a lap for Philip Cox and the 0-2 of Mike Bowers. Off turn number 4, heat race number 2 to Philip Cox. Mike Bowers finishes second. Glenn Jewell, actually Braden Swaney finishes third. Glenn Jewell finishes fourth. Picks up his 8th heat race win of the 2015 season. In the Ron Kirkpatrick Racing Alpha Heating and Cooling sponsored number 09 from Janate and Hutton, Ohio. Put your hands together for Philip Cox. So Bertram and Barker off of turn number 4. Going to see the green flag from Chief Starter Terry Coletti. And we're underway. Smith gets sideways in the third position. Barker going to slide up. Here comes Colton Ritchie trying to thread the needle for that second spot. Now Barker's going to back off. Ritchie going to get in there. Gets a little bit of contact from Smith, but takes over that second spot. Smith going to try and battle back to the inside. And contact between the 44 of Smith and the 28 of Orr. I'm sorry, the 21 of Ritchie. Green flag, 7 laps to go off of turn number 4. Ritchie gets a good run down into turn number 1. He's going to take over the race lead from Bertram. Ritchie gets a great restart. He's going to scoot away to the race lead. Grove caught behind the 11 of Barker in the 5th spot. Bertram runs second. Hoopengarner in third. 4th is Passwaters, and 5th is Grove. So Colton Ritchie driving away in the race lead. Bertram runs second. Hoopengarner runs third. Passwaters in 4th. Grove in 5th. Ritchie sideways off of turn number 4. Still your race leader with 3 laps to go. And now contact in turn number 1 between Hoopengarner and the 55 of Bertram. Coming to green off of turn number 4, Ritchie and Bertram. Green flag is in the air. Now your top 2 in points, nose to tail, down the back straightaway. Ritchie, Grove, Barker. 2 laps to go. Your top 2 are nose to tail in points. White flag for Colton Ritchie. Kyle Grove trying to get to the inside into turn number 3. Barker runs third. Hoopengarner runs 4th off turn number 4. Your winner is going to be Colton Ritchie. Kyle Grove will finish second. TJ Barker third. Gary Hoopengarner 4th. Bob Passwaters Sr. in 5th, and Passwaters Jr. and Kyler Bertram. So pulling to the line in the number 21 from Akron, Ohio, in the Cardinal Asphalt CRP Racing Innovative Auto Sports, and he is still your point leader. Put your hands together for Colton Ritchie. Varnes, the 72 is Cordia, the 32 is Keith Anderson as the green flag comes out. The 82 is Joe Leinard, the 118 is Colt Locker. Colt Locker is the new track record holder, and now the top 2 in points get together in turn number 2. So caution in turn 2. So your field in turn number 3, Squires and Jayberg, Orr and Varnes. And green flag is back out from Chief Starter Jason Neely. Squires and Jayberg side by side down into turn number 2. Jayberg on the top side, Squires on the bottom. And here comes the 32 of Anderson and the 118. Now contact. The 72 of Cordia gets into the 95 of Varnes. And the 118 of Locker almost gets into the fence. Turn number 2, Jayberg. And I believe that is Anderson. Yes, it is. And then we got Leinard and Locker. Green flag back in the air as Orr gets out of the road for Locker and Leinard. And Cody Jayberg battling on the outside. Squires battles back to the inside. Jayberg going to pull a nose ahead down the back straightaway. Squires runs him way up the racetrack. Jayberg holding a nice wheel in the outside lane is going to have the lead at the line. Leinard trying to make it 3 wide for second. Leinard's going to get there. He's going to plow it in there, take over the second spot. Now going to take over the race lead. Leinard on the inside of Jayberg down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Smoking Joe Leinard with a great move to go 3 wide into turn number 1 to take over the second spot. Then got to the inside of Jayberg and took over the race lead. Leinard, your race leader with 2 laps in. Here comes the fastest qualifier, new track record holder, Colt Locker up to second. Jayberg back to third. Anderson fourth. Squires fifth. And Orr in sixth. Way up the racetrack is Locker as he was catching Leinard, but he might have lost his chance with 3 laps to go right there in turn number 4. Leinard kind of tiptoeing on the bottom of the racetrack. Anderson up to the 3rd spot. Cody Jayberg back to 4th. Anderson looking to take over that point lead from Cordia, as we'll have those totals here when this one is complete, as Leinard into turn number 3 still holds about a half a car length advantage over Colt Locker with 1 lap to go. Off turn number 4, heat race to the 82 of Joe Leinard. Colt Locker made a valiant effort to try and get back to the inside off turn number 4, but was unable to make it work. Colt Locker finishes 2nd. Keith Anderson 3rd. Cody Jayberg finishes 4th. Then the 11 of Waylon Orr and the 4 of Chad Squires. So, heat race winner in the Finish Line Motors Mini Truck Division from Dover, Ohio, in the Ron Kirkpatrick Racing, Hoops Auto Body, Russ Moore and Sons Concrete, Watson Trucking, sponsored number 82. Put your hands together for Smokin' Joe Leinard, your track owners and promoters who do a great job here at Midvale Speedway, putting on a tremendous program each and every year. Dan Bucky will start on the pole. Gage Jayberg alongside. Heat race number 1, compact division. The 175 is Justin Renneker. The 19 is Clayton Oliver. The 27 is Britt Van Meter. The 15 is Kyle Finlayson. The 50 is your point leader, Wes Ennis. If you have a red Chevy Silverado license plate FZX3951, you need to move it now, please. Red Chevy Silverado FZX3951. It needs moved immediately. You are blocking a gate. Thank you. So Gage Jayberg, your race leader. Bucky runs 2nd. Britt Van Meter up to 3rd. 3 wide battle for the 4th spot between Finlayson, Renneker, and your point leader Ennis. Clayton Oliver back in the 7th position. Here comes Van Meter to the outside of Dan Bucky for the runner-up spot. Gage Jayberg, currently the runner-up in points, trying to reel in the 50 of Ennis for that points lead, as Ennis marred back in traffic, now in the 5th position. Trying to make it 3 wide again. Here comes Ennis. Ennis on the inside. Bucky in the middle. Finlayson on the outside. Now it settles down into turn number 3. Halfway home, 4 in, 4 to go. Gage Jayberg, your race leader. Britt Van Meter runs second. Finlayson runs third. Here comes Wes Ennis in the number 50 for the 4th spot. Ennis taking a look to the outside of Kyle Finlayson off of turn number 2 for the 3rd spot as Van Meter starts to reel in the 21 of Jayberg. Gage Jayberg will take the white flag. Van Meter runs second. Ennis now up to 3rd as him and Finlayson battle for that 3rd spot side by side. In the 5th spot is the 175 of Renneker and the 19 of Oliver. Off turn number 4, Gage Jayberg. The winner of heat race number 1, Britt Van Meter, finishes 2nd. Wes Ennis finishes 3rd, Kyle Finlayson 4th, Justin Renneker 5th. We'll work the calculators and we'll figure out what's going on with our compact point standings as Jayberg picks up the heat race win. And pulling to the line from New Philadelphia, Ohio in the Michael Taylor Allstate Insurance, C&K Auto Service, Route 39 Auto Salvage, Fox Auto Salvage and Parts, sponsor number 21. Put your hands together for Gage Jayberg. Of the Canton Auto Salvage Compacts, the number 1 of Jason Shaw, the 16 of Bobby Gaynor, the 16M of Mike McDonald, the 169 of Alan Clark, the 17 of Laney Stresky, and the 46 of Christian Bailey. And we can now officially congratulate Wes Ennis on a 2015 Compact Points Championship. As that is sealed up, even though Jayberg took the victory in the heat race, the point spread is enough that Wes Ennis will be the 2015 Compact Point Champion. As Shaw and Gaynor battle for the top spot in heat race number 2, Gaynor on the outside, Shaw on the inside. And lap number 1 will go to Jason Shaw in the number 1. Gaynor will run second, then McDonald and Clark, Stresky, and the 46 of Bailey. So Jason Shaw continues to lead in the number 1. The 16M of McDonald runs second. The 169 of Alan Clark runs third. Then the 46 of Bailey and the 17 of Stresky. The black flag coming out for the 16 of Bobby Gaynor with a flat left front tire as they'll send him pit side. So Christian Bailey up to the race lead. Jason Shaw runs second. Here comes Alan Clark as he'll go to the outside of Shaw and take over the second spot. A little bit of contact into turn number 3. Shaw on the inside, Clark on the outside. Christian Bailey with a good move to pop up to the race lead with 1 lap to go. Checkered flag for Christian Bailey. Alan Clark finishes second. Jason Shaw finishes third. The 16M of McDonald finishes fourth. And the 17 of Stresky, with a slowly going flat right front tire, finishes fifth. So pulling to the line, heat race number 2 winner in the Gearheads Garage Dot Print Solutions Lincoln Welders, sponsored number 46 from Louisville, Ohio. Put your hands together for Christian Bailey. Brief 5-minute intermission and roll into our feature program tonight on Smith's Auto Sales, Freedom Auto Finance Season Championship Night, as Stephen McHugh goes down through the infield and James Butts is your race leader. Toby Cook tries to take a look through turns 3 and 4. Butts continues in the race lead. So the 7 of Riddle moves up to take over the second spot from Toby Cook. Butts, James continues to lead in the number 11. James Butts, your race leader. The 7 of Riddle runs second. Then the 01 of Corbett. Here comes Hunter Corbett as he gets into the 7 of Riddle just a little bit, trying to take over that second spot. Hunter Corbett. Corbett and Riddle side by side for the second spot behind James Butts, the race leader. 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. The 13 of Cook right there in the 4th spot. Then the 57 of Ennis Jr. Oh, Butts just about took out the wall in turn number 2, and Hunter Corbett took over the race lead. 3 wide in turn number 3. Riddle's going to spin to the infield. Butts, he'll keep going. Almost looped it down in turn number 1 and 2. Riddle sideways with the rear end of his number 7 machine. As Hunter Corbett, your race leader. Toby Cook up to the second spot. James Butts back to third. Then Riddle and Ennis Jr. and Stephen McHugh. White flag for Hunter Corbett. And Hunter Corbett will pick up heat race number 2. Toby Cook will finish 3rd. James Butts 4th. Travis Riddle will finish 4th. Larry Ennis Jr. 5th. Stephen McHugh 6th. Your winner in the number 01 from Denison, Ohio, in the Snyder Home Improvement sponsored number 01 machine. Put your hands together for Hunter Corbett. Again, we'll take a very brief intermission. About 5 minutes to go down and get yourself something hot to eat or warm to drink and get settled back in for our feature racing. Skid plate race to end the night is always going to be interesting. Then the 1 of Gary Hoopengarner, the 75 of Bob Passwater Sr., 3rd in points. Then your point runner-up currently, the 3 of Kyle Grove, the 77 of Todd Miller, and the 74 of Bob Passwaters Jr., and we are green. Barker slides way up the racetrack. Now Larry Smith runs Colton Ritchie way upstairs. Larry Smith gets a little bit of contact with him and Colton Ritchie, and Ritchie back to the 4th spot. Him and Grove nose to tail now. Larry Smith trying to look over the 55 of Bertram for the lead. Smith dive bombs into turn number 1. Little bit of contact with him and Bertram as Smith takes over the race lead. Colton Ritchie gets by the one of Hoop and Garner, moves up to the third spot. Here comes Kyle Grove. Grove gets around Hoop and Garner for the fourth spot. Now he's going to work on Colton Ritchie. Your point battle. Battling for the third and fourth spots. Grove to the high side of Ritchie. Colton Ritchie going to try and get underneath the 55 of Bertram. A little bit of contact between the two. They keep going in the right direction. Ritchie going to go to the outside of Bertram now in turn number 1. Caution out for the 44 of Larry Smith as he breaks out of his qualifying time. Larry Smith will be sent to the tail for going under his qualifying time. Then the 74 of Passwaters Jr., the 44 of Smith, the 11 of Barker. Points battle right now. Ritchie ahead of Grove. Restart with 15 laps to go. Green is in the air. Colton Ritchie with a good restart. He'll take over the race lead. Here comes Gary Hoopengarner. Hoopengarner to the outside of Bertram. Bertram dives it into turn number 3. And Hoopengarner will move up to the second spot. Three wide into turn number 1. Kyle Grove, Miller, and Bertram. All kinds of contact between Bertram and Grove. The last time around, Colton Ritchie, your race leader. Hoopengarner runs second. Miller, third. Grove, fourth. Halfway home, 10 in, 10 to go. Colton Ritchie, your race leader. Gary Hoopengarner runs second. Todd Miller runs third. Kyle Grove runs fourth. Kyler Bertram in fifth. Kyler Bertram breaking out of his qualifying time. Gary Hoopengarner, Todd Miller, Kyle Grove, Larry Smith, your top 5. As TJ Barker comes back onto the speedway, looking for the restart. Green flag off turn number 4. Green is in the air. Hoopengarner with a good restart. He's going to get the jump on the outside into turn number 1. Ritchie battles back. Here comes Kyle Grove. Into turn number 3. Hoopengarner closes the door on Ritchie just a little bit. Now side by side for the point battle. Kyle Grove, Colton Ritchie side by side for the second spot and the points championship. Grove a half a car length ahead through turns 3 and 4. Side by side for the race lead. Hoopengarner up the racetrack. Grove 3 wide down the front straightaway. Into turn number 1. Grove on the outside. Hoopengarner in the middle. Ritchie on the bottom. Colton Ritchie back to the front. Colton Ritchie back to the top spot. Hoopengarner to second. Grove back to third, almost to fourth now. 2 laps to go. 2 to go. Richie, your race leader. White flag for Colton Ritchie. 1 lap left in the JD Byrider Street Stock Championship. Ritchie, if he finishes where he is, he will be the champion and the race winner. Grove runs second, Hoopengarner third into turn number 3. Final time, Grove gets it in there, not going to be able to do it. Colton Ritchie! Colton Ritchie wins. Grove finishes second, Hoopengarner third, Larry Smith fourth, and Todd Miller in fifth. 18-year-old rookie is a champion at Midvale Speedway. Unofficially, 8 points is the victory. 8 points. How about a big round of applause for the second place man in points? He finishes third. The number 3 of Kyle Grove. Your runner-up, the 1 of Gary Hoopengarner. And driving the Whalen Orr own number 28, it is the 21 tonight. Your 15-year-old rookie, your season championship feature victory, your points champion, Colton Ritchie. Let's take a quick word to one of the guys that made it happen, Whalen Orr. Whalen, man, tell me, what a great show of sportsmanship to let Colton run this car tonight.
Oh, there's no other driver I'd let drive it but him. He's the only kid that showed total classman that I've ever drove with. He drives his heart out.
How about a big round of applause for Whalen Orr, who let Colton drive this machine tonight. What a great show of sportsmanship by Whalen Orr. 15-year-old rookie in victory lane. Last year's champion, Dennis Wood, is here. Let him hear you, Colton Ritchie! Come here, kid. I'll tell you what. I'm impressed. I've been impressed with you all season long. You drive like a 15-year veteran, not a 15-year-old kid. I've told you that a number of times. You had to drive your butt off tonight. What was you thinking, first of all, when you had the race lead, you were pulling away, Hoopengarner was behind you, Grove was battling for the third spot. Did you think, oh, I don't need a caution?
No, I definitely didn't want to see that.
So you got the caution, you had to restart, then Grove gets you by a half a car length. Hoopengarner takes the race lead, he gets up into Grove a little bit, you make a heck of a 3-wide move, take over the race lead. Man, what was you thinking?
I really didn't think I'd make it back up to the front. I thought third would be kind of where I was going to sit, and I thought it was over, but I saw him push up, and I took advantage of it.
I'll tell you what, I don't think I've heard a crowd here at Midvale Speedway yell so loud for a 15-year-old kid before.
I don't know.
Who do you want to thank tonight? I know the guy standing behind you over here is a big part of that.
Definitely Whalen Orr for letting me drive my car after flipping mine at Barberton. All of my sponsors, Cardinal Asphalt, Shook Brothers Construction, Rick Shook, everyone in the stands, Innovative Auto Sports, the Flagman. Everyone's race is pretty clean, and it's been a fun year.
Congratulations, man.
Thanks.
You're a champion.
Yeah.
Love it. Congratulations. You're points champion and your season feature championship winner on Smith Auto Sales Freedom Auto Finance Night at Midvale Speedway, Colton Ritchie. Tons of fans down here in Victory Lane. Cody Jayberg down here in Victory Lane. Last year's points champion Dennis Wood is here. Whalen Orr, of course, the car owner of this number 28 in Victory Lane. Pretty cool thing to have a 15-year-old rookie in the street stock division pick up the championship. And a call out to Kyle Grove. He drove his butt off all year, picked up a number of feature victories. and he comes up just a little bit short, but a great rookie season in the street stock division by the number 3 of Kyle Grove. Bob Passwater Sr. finishes 3rd in points. He had a great year. What a great year in the street stock division here at Midvale Speedway. Colton Ritchie, your champion. Again, if you want to order pre-order tonight's DVD from Mid-Vid Racing Videos, make sure you stop up and pre-order them. See John or Craig from Mid-Vid Racing Videos. I'm sure there's a lot of people down there in Victory Lane that are going to want to get their hands on one of them DVDs. Again, what a show of sportsmanship tonight by Waylon Orr, giving up his ride for Colton Ritchie to try and run for a championship. How sweet it must be for Waylon Orr to see his car in victory lane and a part of a championship tonight. Again, our hats off to Kyle Grove on a great season in that number 3 machine. So the field gets the 1-to-go signal. Dave Martin, Bob Snyder Jr. on the front row. Mike Miller, Bryant Smith in row 2. The Mountain State Missile, Jonathan Ritter. Matthew Mills in row 3. Flying Ryan Tedesco, Glenn Galt Jr. row 4. Bubba Smith, your champion. Tom Stankiewicz in row 5. Then Smith, Hoopengarner, and Eichel. As the field comes off of turn number 4, green flag is in the air, and we're underway for our our McIntosh Oil Company late model 30-lap feature. Snyder will take the race lead off of turn number 2. Martin will fall back into second, but here comes Bryant Smith on the outside. Bryant Smith looking to take over the second spot as Snyder leads lap number 1. Martin and Smith battle for that second spot. Snyder, your race leader. Good battle for 4th and 5th between Miller and Mills as the 1 of Bryant Smith now clears the 3 of Martin. He'll take over the second spot. Here comes Mills in a battle for 3rd with Martin. Miller with a good move down the back straightaway, 3 wide in turn 3 as Martin slides up into Glenn Galt Jr. Galt going to slide all the way back to the tail of the field after contact with Dave Martin in the 3. As Bryant Smith begins to reel in the 17 of Snyder. Mills runs 3rd, Miller 4th, Ritter 5th. Oh, and contact in turn number 4, Brian Smith and the 4 of Matthew Mills. Six laps in, 24 to go. Matthew Mills, who was the fastest qualifier for our main event racing series race just a couple of weeks ago. Snyder and Smith, Miller and Ritter in turn number 4. Green flag back in the air, 24 to go. Snyder on the inside. Bryant Smith going to get the run down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Smith on the outside will take over the race lead. New race leader Bryant Smith into number 1. Snyder battling back, and that number 17 pulls back even with the 1 off of turn number 2. Side by side in turn number 3 for the race lead. Bob Snyder Jr. doing a whale of a job trying to hold off that number 1 of Brian Smith, keeping him in the outside lane, stacking everybody else up. Ritter and Miller nowhere to go in 3rd and 4th. Tedesco and Bubba Smith nowhere to go in 5th and 6th. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. The front 8 cars side by side. Bob Snyder Jr. doing a great job holding that bottom line and keeping Brian Smith to the outside. Brian Smith gets good runs going into the corner, but not able to close the door. Snyder still there. Getting Joe Slentz pulled pit side so he doesn't interfere with the race leaders. Snyder and Smith still side by side for 10 laps now for the race lead. Brian Smith slides up in turn number 1. Snyder's going to clear him. That almost allowed Miller to get to the inside. Ryan Tedesco up to the 3rd spot. Bob Snyder Jr. holding on to the top spot, coming in 10 laps to go. Here comes Ryan Tedesco for 2nd. Tedesco side by side with Bryant Smith for the 2nd spot. Snyder leads. Here comes Bryant Smith once again. He's seen the 70 of Tedesco and hit the go button. He's back alongside the 17 of Snyder, battling for that race lead. Bob Snyder Jr. doing a whale of a job on the bottom of the racetrack, holding on to that race lead. Bryant Smith unable to make the outside work. Oh, and Snyder spins off of turn number 2. Mike Miller in 3rd, Bubba Smith in 4th, Jonathan Ritter 5th, Glenn Galt Jr. in 6th, then Gary Hoopengartner, Dave Martin, and Mike Smith. Off turn number 4, green flag back in the air. Tedesco and Bryant Smith, little bit of rubbing down through turns 1 and 2. Side by side into turn number 3, Bryant Smith trying to stay out of that oil dry is your race leader. Tedesco tries the high side once again. Bryant Smith on the bottom, Tedesco on the high side. Bubba Smith up to 3rd. Two laps to go this time. Bryant Smith, your leader. Tedesco 2nd. Bubba Smith runs 3rd. Bubba and Tedesco now side by side for the 2nd spot. White flag off of turn number 4 for Bryant Smith. Off turn number 4, your winner, Bryant Smith. Ryan Tedesco will finish 2nd. Bubba Smith will finish 3rd. Glenn Galt Jr. 4th. Mike Miller in 5th. Bryant Smith with his 3rd feature victory of the season championship. Race winner. About a big round of applause for Ryan Tedesco, finishing in the 2nd spot. And your 3rd place finisher and your 2015 points champion, 3-time champion, Bubba Smith. As Brian hands off the checkered flag to the champion, as he will take his victory lap in the number 12. And pulling to the line, your 3-time champion, Bubba Smith. Matt will get an interview with the champion in just a minute. And the Canton Auto Sales Finish Line Designs, Freedom Auto Finance, Canton Auto Salvage, sponsored number 1. Your season championship feature winner is getting the belts undone. And he'll climb for the car, and we'll hear from him in just a minute. Put your hands together for Brian Smith. Come on over here, B. It's okay, you can mess it up now. The race is over. Man, I'll tell you what. That was a fun race to watch. You and Snyder side by side for 10, 12 laps side by side. You never touched one time. Incredible race by you two.
Yeah, I thought I had him cleared one time, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt. And was like, oh, I'll get down next corner. And I don't know what he did, but man, he got right back beside me. And he even had me cleared for a while. I mean, I was racing as hard as I could. I thought for sure Snyder was going to win that race, but I was giving it everything I had.
And then talk about when Stankiewicz lost the rear end over here in turn 3 and 4, then you had to restart on the bottom. Was you thinking, oh no?
Yeah, of course, anytime you got Ryan beside you, you know it's going to be tough. I mean, he's obviously a hell of a racer. And, I mean, we raced pretty good. We bumped a couple times. The one time I know I definitely slid the brakes and got into him a little bit. And, again, you know, a couple times we bumped, and it's racing. But, I mean, I had fun. That was a blast.
It was a lot of fun to watch, I can tell you. Who do you want to thank on this one tonight?
Oh, I got to thank everybody. I mean, all the fans, all the people that stuck it out tonight. Tonight was long and drawn out, but at least we got it in. I got to congratulate my brother, of course. He's done a hell of a job all season. Got to thank Drame. I mean, they rebuilt Bubba's entire engine in 2 days, and obviously it's good because he got broke track record with it. So, but my dad, he does so much for us. My mom, you know, love her to death. Got to thank my whole family. Mike, he does so much. Tommy, he's the mastermind behind this thing, and if it weren't for him, you know, it would be a different story. But, of course, I got to thank my wife and kids for putting up with all this stuff. But, you know, there's so many people that help, and so many people around the track in general that help, that make racing great, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Season championship feature winner, Brian Smith. Where's Matthew at? Come on over here and get an interview real quick with Bubba.
Well, congratulations, Bubba, on picking up your 3rd career championship. Earlier tonight, you broke track record, roll 11. I was telling them up in the tower before that last caution, I said this has to be one of the best McIntosh Oil Company late model races of the season, and I think it is. It's probably the top up there. You came through the field, started challenging your brother there at the end. Looked like you got into him just a little bit, but Rubin's racing.
Yeah, his car looked pretty bad there at the end. We were just boxed in there at the beginning of the race. If we would have had a caution, who knows, I might have finished 6th or 7th. It's been a great season for me. I haven't finished out of the top 3 all year. So you couldn't ask for a better season. 6 feature wins, track record tonight, and the top 3 every night. It's definitely the best season I've ever had. I got to thank my crew. Tommy gets these cars going fast every week. If it wasn't for Tommy, I mean, anybody could drive this car. You could have got in it tonight and broke track record. It was just beautiful. I got to thank Drame. He busted his butt this week. We had some metal shavings in our oil we found last week, and pulled the motor Monday, took it to Drames Tuesday, and he had it back to us Thursday night. We got it back in the car, and so it was fresh horsepower. So that could have been attributed to the track record tonight, but it's been a great year. My mom and my dad do everything for us. My wife, Tommy, Mike. I mean, Mike's been busting his butt on our cars for years. So there's just lots of people here, and thanks to all the fans that toughed it out. You guys are true race fans tonight if you stayed here to watch this. Thanks, Joe Dog, for pushing the car once, and it's just been a great year. I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Congratulations on picking up your 3rd career championship.
Thank you.
Give a hand to your point champion, Bubba Smith.
What an incredible late model feature. Tough break for Bob Snyder Jr. as he spun out with 6 laps to go. Great side-by-side racing with Bryant Smith. He comes home the winner of the season championship race. Bubba Smith, 3-time champion. Field in turn number 3. Squires and Jayberg. Green flag is in the air, 15-lap mini truck feature. And the 4 and 22 get together in turn number 1, and a caution on the speedway. Jayberg will take the race lead into turn number 1. Leinert making a 3-wide move. He'll take over the second spot. Leinert going to look to the inside of Jayberg down the back straightaway. Joe Leinert with a 3-wide move in turn 1. Going to get by Jayberg for the race lead. Joe Leinert, your race leader. Leinert, your race leader. Jayberg runs second. Colt Locker up to third. The 95 of Varnes runs fourth. Then the 72 of Cordia and the 32 of Anderson in that point battle. Anderson to the outside of Cordia as the 118 of Locker takes over the second spot. Cordia way up the racetrack, and the 32 of Anderson does a crossover move and will take over the 5th spot. So Leinert, your race leader. Locker runs second. Jayberg in third. And Anderson in the points position as he's to the outside of Varnes for fourth. Anderson is your point leader. Keith Anderson moves around Cody Jayberg up to the 3rd spot. All eyes on the race leaders, Leinert and Colt Locker. These two duked it out for the heat race win earlier. Leinert prevailed, and now Locker going to look to the inside in turn 1, not quite there. Leinert, your race leader, halfway home. Leinert, your race leader. Locker runs second. Keith Anderson in third. Cody Jayberg and Varnes battle for the 4th spot. Down into turn number 1. Locker is there. Leinert and Locker. 5 laps to go. 5 to go for Joe Leinert and Colt Locker. Varnes to the inside of Jayberg for the 4th spot. Move of Michael Varnes to 4th. Cody Jayberg back to 5th. Here comes Locker to the inside of Leinert. Locker going to take the race lead off of turn number 2. Leinert on the outside tries to battle back. Going to try the crossover, not quite able to make it work. Colt Locker, your race leader. Colt Locker, your race leader. Joe Leinard still right there in the second spot. They're a full half a lap ahead of third place Keith Anderson. White flag in the air. Lap traffic could come into play. Locker goes to the inside of Waylon Orr. Leinard now to the inside of Orr. Down into turn number 3. Cody J. Berg, the next vehicle ahead. Off turn number 4. Checkered flag to Colt Locker. Joe Leinard finishes second. Keith Anderson will finish third and will pick up the championship. Keith Anderson, your 2015 points champion. Championship feature winner, the 118 of Colt Locker. In the Townhouse drive-thru of Summerdale, Locker Racing, Bolivar Performance sponsor number 118. How about a big round of applause for second place finisher, Smokin' Joe Leinard. Your season championship feature winner getting ready to climb out of this 118 truck. Again, Townhouse drive-thru and general store of Summerdale on Route 212. Bolivar Performance, Locker Racing, Colt Locker. Come on over here, kid. We got an interview to do before you get pictures. You know that. You should know the routine by now.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. Tell you what, great job tonight. You and Joe had a heck of a battle in the heat race and continued to get in the feature. You had a few more laps, and I think that made a difference.
Yeah, definitely. I was working on the heat, but just couldn't catch up to him in time.
Tell you what, this truck's really been handling well. You got the power under the hood. Who you want to thank on this 118 tonight? Track record holder, too.
Yeah. I've been chasing that track record for the last couple weeks. Special thanks to my dad, and I want to thank my brother, my sister, my mom, and everyone. I want to thank J.C. Spar, Mike Rainsberg for letting me use his garage, Roy Locker, and all my friends and all that. And I want to thank Townhouse Drive-Thru in Summerdale and Bolivar Performance. Yeah.
And you got one up on Dad, though. You know, he did get a feature win in this truck, but you got a track record now. You can brag a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Put your hands together for your season championship mini truck feature winner, Colt Locker. Hop down here. Come on, Mr. Anderson. Come over here. He had to go down and talk to the posse. I can't go too far. I got to stay in line with my signal over here. Congratulations, man. Champion, dude.
Thanks.
It's got to feel good, man. You guys battled it out throughout the season. And, you had the better truck points-wise all season long. Thought maybe, you had some problems, some motor issues kind of set you back. But you had to have known coming into tonight, as long as this thing held together, you were going to be the champ.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping, but started off 5 points behind, but it worked out for the best.
And you guys rubbed a little pain out there, too?
Yeah, the heat race kind of rubbed me the wrong way, if you want to call it that. But
no pun intended.
Right. But it all worked out.
And a good crossover move to get around the 72 to kind of put him behind you so there was no drama.
Right, he just wanted me up against the wall the whole race, so it worked out.
Congratulations, man. Who you want to thank in this 32 truck tonight?
Everybody, Doggone Trucking, M&D Design, my wife. A big thanks to Dusty. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have won the points this year. So.
Yeah, he did lend you the truck a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. So.
Congratulations, man. You earned it. You deserve it.
Thanks, man.
Your 2015 Finish Line Motors Mini Truck Champion, Keith Anderson. So your field making its way down the back straightaway into turn number 3, 25 laps. Summit Racing Economy Modified feature on Smith Auto Sales, Freedom Auto Finance, season championship night at Midvale Speedway. Green flag is in the air. Cox and Bowers. Bowers gets a good run on the outside lane, side-by-side drag race down into turn number 3. Cox is going to get the advantage as the 82 of Cibla slips up back in the pack. Here comes McCreary for the second spot. Lee McCreary alongside the 02 of Bowers. McCreary going to move up to the second spot. Bowers back to third. Kaufman runs fourth. Cibla fifth. Then a battle between Bailey and Jewell for sixth. Philip Cox, Lee McCreary, your top two. McCreary to the outside of the 09 of Cox. Leaves the bottom lane open for Sean Kaufman as here comes McCreary for the race lead. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. McCreary on the outside. Cox on the bottom. Battle for the race lead. McCreary leads at the line. 4 laps complete. 21 to go. 3 wide back in the pack. And Kaufman spins in turn number 4. Field in turns 3 and 4, and the green flag is in the air. McCreary with a good run through turns 1 and 2, going to take the race lead down the back straightaway. Does not have the 09 cleared, but then he closes the door and does take over the race lead. Now he slips up in turns 3 and 4 and allows Philip Cox back to the bottom. Cox and McCreary battle for the race lead down the back straightaway. McCreary, a race leader at the line. Still does not have the 09 of Philip Cox cleared. Now he does off turn number 2. Lee McCreary, your race leader. Lee McCreary, your race leader. Philip Cox runs second. Mike Bowers in third. Your champion, Bob Cibla Jr., runs fourth. Bryce Allensworth runs fifth. Glenn Jewell, in his final feature at Midvale Speedway, runs sixth. Then the 55 of Bailey, the 10 of Kaufman, the 27 of Sweeney, as the 01 of Marino pulls pit side. $1,500 under his qualifying time. So the 2 of McCreary will be your race leader at the caution on lap number 11. Bowers runs second, then the 82 of Cibla, the 21 of Allensworth, the 24 of Jewell. Green flag off of turn number 4, McCreary and Bowers. McCreary gets a good run off of turn number 2, will clear the 0-2 of Bowers and take over the race lead. Battle for third between Allensworth and Sibla. Here comes Allensworth up to the third spot. And the 10 and 27 spin in turn number 3. Green flag back in the air. Allensworth up to second. Here comes Sibla for third. Jewel trying to look to the inside of Bowers for fourth. Gets loose off of turn number 4. Bowers gets back to the bottom in the 4th spot. A little bit of contact between the 09 of Cox and the 55 of Bailey as Bailey slides back a little bit. McCreary still your race leader. Allensworth runs second. Sibla third. Here comes Glenn Jewell looking to the inside of Bowers off turn 2. Not able to get it done. Bowers still in 4th. Jewell in 5th. Cox in 6th. So 6 laps to go this time. 6 to go for Lee McCreary, Bryce Allensworth. Those two nose to tail at the front. About 4 or 5 car lengths ahead of Bob Sibla Jr. in third. Then about another 4 or 5 car lengths back to 4th place runner Mike Bowers. Allensworth, your fastest qualifier, runs second to Lee McCreary. 4 more circuits to go. Can Allensworth get around him? Sibla closing in now on the front 2 just a little bit. White flag for Lee McCreary and Bryce Allensworth. White flag in the air. Caution on the speedway. Into turn number 3. Final restart, hopefully. Green flag is in the air. And a caution for a failed start on the 21 Allensworth. We'll try it again, McCreary and Allensworth. McCreary and Allensworth off of turn number 4. Green flag is back in the air. Allensworth gets a good run through turns 1 and 2. McCreary and Allensworth side by side into turn number 3. Coming to the white flag. McCreary and Allensworth. White flag, McCreary by a nose at the line. Off turn number 2. Get your cameras ready. Could have a photo finish. Into turn number 3. Final time. Allensworth tries to give it a shot. Not going to make it happen. McCreary, your leader. Allensworth finishes second. Your champion, Bob Sibla Jr., finishes third. Glenn Jewell taking his final lap around Midvale Speedway. Long, long career for the 24 as he kind of splits the Allensworth and McCreary teams. Here comes Bryce Allensworth. Big round of applause for the points runner-up. Second place finish for Allensworth. Lee McCreary pulling into victory lane. And Bob Sibla Jr., your point champion. Lee's daughter had a birthday just a couple days ago. Good birthday present for her, a feature victory. It is. That's your trophy now. She said she worked her butt off this week for it, so she'll take home the season championship trophy. How about a big round of applause for your champion? We'll talk to him in a few minutes. Bob Sibla Jr. Great season, first career championship here at Midvale Speedway for this number 82 ride. Bullet Fabrications, the sponsors on the champion. Your season championship feature winner, M&D Designs, pulling into victory lane. Climbing out the number 2, your feature winner, Lee McCreary. Come here, Dinkerbell. I can call you that now because you can't punch me with all these people out here. Congratulations, buddy. Man, I'll tell you what, you had your hands full. Allensworth was trying, but this car was just a little better tonight.
Well, I hate to burst his bubble, but when I was leading, I wasn't even running the thing. He finally got a taste of his own medicine.
Congratulations on the feature win. You know, just a great run. I mean, what else can you say?
Yeah, it was pretty good tonight. I mean, I didn't like qualifying like that after the rain, but it turned out all right.
Who you want to thank on this number 2 tonight?
We got to go back here so I don't forget anybody. My wife, Misty, my daughter, Vanessa, Mikey, Mike Swaney, Braden Swaney, Scott Barrett, my brother Bill, my brother-in-law Bub, Gabe Pringle, Courtney, Dave, Swaney, and a big thanks to George Riddle.
And a good birthday present for your daughter too.
Yeah, I got one for my wife on her birthday. This one's just a little bit late.
Well, that's all right, but she said she's taking home the trophy. What do you got to say about that?
She just thinks she is.
Congratulations. Your season championship feature winner, Lee McCreary. Move down here and talk to the champion now. Well, Brother Rick's got a championship here. Now you got one.
Yeah, you know, it's a great deal. You know, it's been a great year. 2 wins. You know, I wish we could have had more, but it's just been fun. You know, everyone that helps. You know, my brother drove the car 2 races for me. Mike Hudson let me borrow his car one night when we had a problem. So, I mean, a lot of people went in to help me get this championship, that's for sure. My dad, you know, works his butt off. Tom Ertl, you know, they work on this thing every day. And you know, him and his wife let me drive this thing. You know, they couldn't be here tonight, but, you know, I appreciate everything they do for me.
Who else you want to thank on this machine tonight? I mean, I know you thanked a lot of people there. Anybody else you're forgetting?
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of people. You know, Eddie and Rochelle and, you know, their kids back me up, and you know, they come to as many races as they can. They're, you know, friends from Dayton, and, you know, so it's a pretty good drive for them to come up here, you know, and you know, just my cousin Eric helped me a lot this year. You know, he come back racing with me this year, and you know, my mom coming and my girlfriend let me do this stuff. So, yeah, you know, just everyone that's involved.
And, you know, your family has such a long history here at this Speedway. Dad's raced here for many years. Brothers raced here. Now you got a championship. How cool is that for this family?
Oh, it's awesome. You know, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's just awesome. You know, it's a lot of fun, and you know, we need to try and get more.
Congratulations. You earned it.
Thank you very much.
your champion in 2015, Bob Siblet Jr. One more feature to go, then our skid plate race. Canton Auto Salvage Compacts coming up next. Champion's already been declared. Who's going to be the season race champion? About to find out. Wes Ennis, the 16 of Gaynor, the 1 of Shaw. Green flag is in the air. And caution on the speedway. Jayberg and Renneker, your front 4 rows off of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. Bailey looks to go 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Doesn't get the run on the outside. Here comes Alan Clark. McDonald on the inside, Clark on the outside. 20-lap compact feature. Now all kinds of stuff happening in turn number. Jayberg up on his side on top of Laney Stresky. Renneker involved. Into turn number 3. Clark and Stresky. They obviously know how to start a race properly, and the green flag is finally in the air. Oliver and Stresky, a little bit of contact in turn 1. Stresky's going to slide high and drop like a rock. 3 wide for the race lead. Oliver, Bailey. Lap number 1 to Christian Bailey by a fender. Christian Bailey, your race leader. Clayton Oliver runs 2nd. Kyle Finlayson 3rd. Britt Van Meter 4th. Here comes Wes Ennis, your point champion, to the outside of Van Meter for the 5th spot. Christian Bailey, your race leader. Clayton Oliver runs 2nd, Finlayson in 3rd, and here comes Wes Ennis. Oliver, your front two machines in turn number 3. 4 laps in, 16 to go. Green flag back in the air. And Clayton Oliver going to be pushed by Wes Ennis to the race lead. And here comes Wes Ennis on the outside, up to second. Your point champion wants to take home the season championship trophy for his feature win. He's on the outside of Oliver for the race lead. Oliver on the inside, Wes Ennis on the outside. Christian Bailey runs third. Kyle Finlayson fourth, Britt Van Meter fifth, Justin Renneker in sixth, Alan Clark seventh, Bobby Gaynor eighth, Jason Shaw ninth, and the 69 of Bucky in 10th. Here comes Ennis off turn number 2, going to take over the race lead. Problems for Britt Van Meter in the 27. Van Meter slow in turn number 3. Wes Ennis will take the race lead, and problems down in turn number 1. The 13 of Cook. 7 laps down, 13 to go. Wes Ennis, your race leader. Clayton Oliver runs second. Christian Bailey runs third. Kyle Finlayson runs in the 4th spot. Justin Renneker 5th. Green flag back in the air. Wes Ennis, your race leader. Finlayson to the outside of Christian Bailey for the 3rd spot. Renneker right there in the 5th spot. 2nd through 5th, nose to tail. Behind Wes Ennis, your race leader. Halfway home, 10 in, 10 to go. Wes Ennis, your race leader. Oliver runs second. Good battle for the 3rd spot between Christian Bailey and Kyle Finlayson, with Justin Renneker looking on. Running 6th is Alan Clark. 7th, Bobby Gaynor. 8th is the 69 of Bucky. 9th, the 1 of Shaw. And the 16 of McDonald up to 10th. Is going to the tail for running under his qualifying time, the 46 for running under his qualifying time. Tough break for the 3rd place runner, Christian Bailey. Ennis and Oliver in turn number 3. Green flag back in the air on this Sunday morning. Oliver gets sideways in turn 1 and 2, but he keeps it going and maintains that 2nd spot in front of Renneker and Finlayson. Ennis, your leader. Wes Ennis, your race leader, 11 laps down, 9 to go. Ennis and Oliver in turn number 3. And green flag back in the air. And Oliver and Reneker get together in turn number 1. They continue on, and Bobby Gaynor goes from the bottom to the top and spins in turn number 2. And we have yet another caution. This marathon of a compact race, at the next caution, they're either going to run the last 9 laps, or the next caution will be the checkered flag, and that will be it. So green flag is back out. Ennis, your race leader. Oliver is in second. And the 15 of Finlayson, the 175 of Reneker, your front 4. As the 42 of McHugh goes through the infield, he gets back going in the right direction. 13 laps complete for Wes Ennis. Oliver and Finlayson battle for the second spot in front of Reneker, running in the 4th spot, and the 169 of Clark. Wes Ennis out in front. Clayton Oliver runs second. Good battle between him and Finlayson for that second spot. Reneker runs 4th. Alan Clark 5th. McDonald up to 6th. Gaynor 7th. Corbett 8th. Bailey 9th. And Shaw, your top 10. 2 laps to go for Wes Ennis. Problems for the race leader, Wes Ennis. White flag in the air. Wes Ennis problems. Here comes the race lead. Oliver and Finlayson problems with the 50 as he gets into the 175 of Reneker. Hoping everything is okay with Justin Reneker over in turn number 2. Clayton Oliver, your winner. Good second place run by Kyle Finlayson in the 15. As our skid plates get ready pit side. Alan Clark. Wes Ennis, your champion. And finishing third, and hopefully everything's okay over there, Justin Renneker in turn number 2. Your season championship feature winner, Clayton Oliver. Man, what a good run. That was a long one, though. I'm sure you were getting a little tired in there.
Dude, that car is so hot right now. I don't even know. It's just so hot. I'm exhausted. I just want to go home, go to sleep.
I think we all do.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Yeah, but you get to get that big trophy, though, so you got to be happy about that.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. I got to thank a big thank you to my Uncle Tim. He puts a lot of hard work and effort into this car every single day, 24/7. I couldn't do it without him. I got my best buddy Dominic over here. My grandma and them, they do a lot for me, pay for everything I want to do. I love everybody. I want to thank all these fans for coming out on season championship night and sticking through the rain. I love you guys.
He loves everybody. He's your season champion feature winner in the compact division, Clayton Oliver. Hey, Wes Ennis, you want to come up here and celebrate your championship? Come on, kid. As the skid plate machines pull onto the speedway, as they'll start to get their skids on their machines, and we'll get that race underway here shortly. As Wes Ennis pulls into victory lane, your 2015 point champion, first career championship for Wes Ennis. And climbing out, your champion. Put your hands together for Wes Ennis. First career championship, man. I know. What happened to the car there?
I don't know. It just like shut off. And then coming out of 4, it wouldn't go. So I tried to bump start it, got it bump started. And I really did not mean to do that to Justin. I mean, I don't know what everybody thinks, but I didn't. It wasn't on purpose.
No, I got you there. And I know you're not that kind of guy. I just hope Justin's okay. I know the ambulance came out and checked him out. I think he's okay. But the main thing is hopefully he's all right. But, man, talk about your first career championship, man. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, the stress is over now. I mean, I don't know. It's something I've never talked about before, but if it wasn't for Joe and my dad and my brother, all the sponsors, Gage, he put up a good fight, so it was fun.
Man, congratulations. You deserve it. You earned it, buddy.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Your 2015 point champion. Put your hands together for Wes Ennis. Skid plate racers getting their machines 10 and 2 in the infield. Get out and see who we got in these machines as Wes Ennis gets his championship pictures of victory lane. All right. Hey, this is my clipboard. I know. Stealing my clipboard and everything. All right. Bryant Smith, John Turner up front. Josh Onsley, Sebastian Nelson, Kyle Gruhl, Joe Usich, Zach Koger, Chris Kaiser, Kyle Finlayson, Ryan Miser, Rob Scott, Trevor Cutshall. What else we got here? Laney Stresky, Jason Shaw, Derek Gruhl, Christian Bailey, Brent Schreffler, Jason Gruhl, Bubba Smith, Justin Smith, Joe DeVore, Linda Morgan. That's your field of skid plate racers. We got 10 laps, right, Coletti? Skid plate feature. Getting ready to go green. It's going to be crazy. Green flag is in the air. Gruhl's already got the start. He's on the high side. He's rolling. We got cars spinning all over the place. Gruhl spins and hits the wall down in turn 1 after a good start. And we got Bryant Smith out in front.
Make sure everyone stays back away from the fence during the skid plate
back,
race.
Exactly. Back from the fence during the race. We don't want anybody up close. All right. We got cars spinning all over the place in 3 and 4. And we got Bryant Smith, 1 lap complete. He is your leader. Bryant Smith definitely knows how to drive these skid plate cars. The 199 of Kyle Gruhl runs second. The minivan. That's the 919 machine of Chris Kaiser. Then there goes Rob Scott. And let the carnage begin. Bryant Smith, your leader. He's down in turn number 3. The 199 of Kyle Gruhl runs second in the minivan. So your front 2 leaders are in turns 3 and 4. Trying to piece their way through. And this is going to be ugly right here. Bryant Smith, still the race leader, still is. Laney Stresky just took a shot on the front straightaway. Bryant Smith, your race leader, he's up in turns 3 and 4. And he's going to come by to complete lap number 3. Hey! Man, there is cars everywhere. Bryant Smith still the race leader on the back straightaway. We got something burning on the front straightaway. All the way up on the high side, here comes Jason Gruhl. Nope, that's the Kaiser in the 919. Bryant Smith, your race leader, he's going down into turn number 1, and he's going to find himself in an accident up against the wall. So Bryant Smith, the race leader in turn 1. Here comes Gruhl in second. Kyle Gruhl in the minivan trying to tiptoe his way through. Your 2 leaders are down in turns 1 and 2. Bryant Smith coming off turn 2, then the minivan of Kyle Gruhl. Those are your 2 leaders. Halfway home coming in this time. 5 laps down. 5 laps to go. Bryant Smith tiptoeing his way. Here comes Gruhl. Not that Gruhl. Halfway home, Bryant Smith. Here comes Kyle Gruhl and Rob Scott. Rob Scott takes over the second spot. So Rob Scott up to second, I believe. Gruhl in third. And I think that's Bubba Smith in fourth. Christian Bailey spins on the front straightaway. The police machine, he's in the infield. Here comes Bryant Smith, your race leader. Rob Scott was running second, so he just got spun out. Now Rob Scott in the infield. Joe Usich coming by in the 11. Not sure if he's on the lead lap or not. There goes Bubba Smith and Kyle Gruhl with Rob Scott down there. I believe your second place battle is in turn number 1 and 2 between Bubba Smith, Rob Scott, and Kyle Gruhl in the minivan. Second, third, and fourth behind race leader Bryant Smith. As Rob Scott spins again in turn 3, here comes Bryant. Whew, that got kind of close. Good second place battle. Bubba Smith, Kyle Gruhl, and Rob Scott down in turn number 1. But they are about a half a lap behind race leader Bryant Smith. 8 laps complete right here. Only 2 laps to go for Bryant Smith. Got a lot of cars stopped and not running. kind of sitting right in the middle of things. I believe here comes your second place runner, Rob Scott. Rob Scott in second. Bubba Smith in third. And Kyle Gruhl in fourth in the minivan with 2 laps to go. White flag coming out for Bryant Smith. Oh, Bryant Smith gets stopped on the front straightaway. Is he going to get turned back around to take the feature victory? He's still your race leader. Here comes second place runner. There goes Rob Scott in second. Bubba Smith in third. Oh boy. Things are getting interesting. Bryant Smith got through turn 1. Bryant Smith headed down the back straightaway. Will he be able to get through? Coming to the checkered flag, Bryant Smith in turn number 3. Rob Scott trying to dig down. Here comes Rob Scott. Maybe not. Thought that was Rob Scott. Checkered flag for Bryant Smith. Rob Scott finishes second. Rob Scott finishes second. Here comes third place finisher Bubba Smith. Bubba finishes third. Linda Morgan comes across the line. Rob Scott, I don't know what Rob Scott's doing, but he's doing donuts of some kind. All right, that's it. All right, guys, race is over. Rob Scott, that was some nice donuts. That was about the best thing you did all year. As Bryant Smith will take his victory lap. Rob Scott finishes second. Bubba Smith finishes third. Once again, thank you for coming out tonight to Midvale Speedway on Smith's Auto Sales Freedom Auto Finance Season Championship Night. We hope you join us for the Budweiser Fall Classic coming up on October 17th. Again, make sure you check out midvalespeedway.com and follow us on Facebook to find out all the information for the Budweiser Fall Classic coming up in October. Congratulations to all of our champions and our season championship feature winners. And Bryant Smith for winning not only the late model feature, but the skid plate race as well. Now I think track photographer Dan Bailey has to go change his shorts after that. All right, it says Huge E. Peter on the side, but we know better when we see the driver as he gets ready to climb out. Ladies and gentlemen, your skid plate feature winner, Huge E. Peter, also known as Bryant Smith. Man, you didn't have a whole lot of chaos, really. I mean, one time maybe done in turn 1.
Yeah,
oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody spun out. I'm not even sure who it was, and I knew I was going to hit him, so I just locked the brakes up. And when you do that in these cars, it just spins them around. So I was like, I'm using the back end instead of the front end, and I worked great. And then I'd stopped here in front of you guys, but I knew I had to be killing everybody because Treffler, he's great at these things, and I was about to lap him, so I knew I had to be killing the field. If I was
well, you actually wasn't because Rob Scott was actually only about a corner behind you.
Oh, really? Who knew he could actually drive?
Oh, that's what I thought. But he does have a little bit of dirt track experience. So Rob Scott finished second. Your brother finished third.
He's probably cheating, too.
Yeah, it could be. I'll tell you what, that was a lot of fun to watch, though.
Yeah, I had a great night. Can't beat that. I won my heat feature and now the skid plate race.
That's called a sweep, brother.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Might as well, right?
Yep, thanks, buddy. Hope to see you in, what 3 weeks?
Yeah, about 3 weeks. Fall Classic coming up, you know. Go home and have a couple beers.
Yeah, me and Phil Vino got to defend our title on that. I won last year. He was my spotter riding shotgun with me. And so me and him got to defend a championship on that, too.
Yeah, you know, you couldn't have won this thing when I was riding shotgun with you for 3 years.
Hey, I had the race won, but we ran out of gas.
Yeah, we did run out of gas.
Yeah, we had a straightaway lead on Bubba, and he was in second. He ended up winning by a whole lap, but we were killing him and ran out of freaking gas.
I'll tell you what. We could talk down here all night, but I'm going to let you go.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear your mouth that much.
Yeah, I don't think they want to hear you worse. All right, your winner, Hugh G. Peter, Bryant Smith.
And we got Bryant Smith out in front. Make sure everyone stays back away from the fence during. Yeah, back from the fence during the race. We don't want anybody up close. All right. We got cars spinning all over the place at 3 and 4. And we got Bryant Smith, 1 lap complete. He is your leader. Bryant Smith definitely knows how to drive these speedway cars. The 199 at Kyle Rule, 1 second. The minivan. That's the 919 machine of Chris Kaiser. Then there goes Rob Scott. And let the carnage begin. Bryant Smith, your leader, down in turn number 3. The 199 of Kyle Rule runs second in the minivan. So your front 2 leaders are in turns 3 and 4. Trying to piece their way through. And this is going to be ugly right here. Bryant Smith, still the race leader, was, still is. Brady Strusky just took a shot on the front straightaway. Bryant Smith, your race leader, he's up in turns 3 and 4. He's going to come out and complete lap number 3. Bryant Smith still the race leader on the back straightaway. We got something burning on the front straightaway. All the way up on the high side, here comes Jason Rule. Chris Kaiser at the 919. Bryant Smith, your race leader, he's going down into turn number 1. He's going to find himself in an accident up against the wall. So Bryant Smith, the race leader in turn 1. Here comes Rule in second. Kyle Rule in the minivan, trying to tiptoe his way through. The 2 leaders are down in turns 1 and 2. Bryant Smith coming off turn 2. There's a minivan of Kyle Rule. Those are your 2 leaders. Halfway home coming in this time. 5 laps down. 5 laps to go. Bryant Smith tiptoeing his way. Here comes Rule. That rule. Halfway home, Bryant Smith. Here comes Kyle Rule and Rob Scott. Rob Scott takes over the second spot. Rob Scott up in second, I believe. Rule in third. And I think that's Bubba Smith in fourth. Christian Bailey's fifth on the front straightaway. The police machine, he's in the infield. Here comes Bryant Smith, your race leader. Rob Scott was running second, so he just got spun out. Now Rob Scott in the infield. Show usage coming by in the 11. Not sure if he's on the lead lap or not. Here comes Bubba Smith. And Kyle Rule with Rob Scott down there. I believe your second place battle is in turns number 1 and 2. Between Bubba Smith, Rob Scott, and Kyle Rule in the minivan. Second, third, and fourth, behind race leader Bryant Smith. Rob Scott Smith again in turn 3. Here comes Brian. That guy's kind of close. Good second place battle. Bubba Smith, Kyle Rule, and Rob Scott down in turn number 1. They are about a half a lap behind race leader Brian Smith. 8 laps complete right here. Only 2 laps to go for Brian Smith. Got a lot of cars stopped and not running. Kind of sitting right in the middle of things. I believe here comes the second place runner, Rob Scott. Rob Scott in second. Bubba Smith in third. And Kyle Rule in fourth in the minivan with 2 laps to go. White flag coming out for Brian Smith. Oh, Brian Smith gets stopped on the first straightaway. Is he going to get turned back around to take the feature victory? He's still your race leader. Here comes second place runner. There goes Rob Scott in second. Bubba Smith in third. Oh boy. Things are getting interesting. Brian Smith got through turn 1. Brian Smith headed down the back straightaway. Will he be able to get through? Coming to the checkered flag, Brian Smith in turn number 3. Rob Scott trying to take out. Here comes Rob Scott. Not that Rob Scott. Checkered flag for Brian Smith. Rob Scott finished in second. Rob Scott finished in second. Here comes third place finisher Bubba Smith. Bubba finished in third. Linda Morgan comes across the line. Rob Scott, I don't know what Rob Scott's doing, but he's going donuts to come back. That's it. All right, guys, race is over.
Derek Gruhl.
Here, does that go in the back of the
Over the machine. We should have a way here first. Getting ready to the green, going to be